What came of the February revenue forecast that was released last Friday?
Well, it was pretty good news. I think it was about $129 million additional to the $3 billion additional revenue that we're working with this year. Of course, we've got a lot of pressing issues like the McCleary decision and the court-mandated mental health beds decision that we're going to have to step up and we're going to have to deal with those issues. Not to mention we've put a lot of raises for state employees and folks on hold during the recession, and so I think we're going to try to play catch up with some of that money and try to restore some of those salaries where they might be best applied. Hopefully having the additional revenue is going to ease our concerns here a little bit and hopefully get us out in the 105 days.
This Friday is fiscal committee cutoff, and last Friday was policy committee cutoff. What do these cutoff dates mean?
Well, they mean relief, actually. I think many of us were really looking forward to the cutoff because as we move forward in this session, we've got a couple months left, and this will be the determining bills that have made it through the legislature. As far as the policy cutoff, all the bills that came out of policy committees, if they didn't come out of those policy committees, they're really considered dead for the session. However, fiscal and policy cutoff are different dates, so the fiscal committees are all meeting right now and determining which bills that have fiscal impact or necessary to implement the budget. Those are all going to go through those fiscal committees, and then after the fiscal cutoff, then we'll have an idea of what bills will comprise the budget for this year. But honestly, if it's got money attached to it and it's necessary to implement the budget, it's really not dead until we actually punch out that final budget.
One issue attracting attention this session is figuring out a way to manage both the medical and recreational marijuana systems. What's been happening with that so far?
Well, it's been very interesting. There have been literally dozens of bills that have been introduced to kind of address the issue of medical marijuana and the fact that when we passed the legislation years ago, the governor vetoed all of the sideboards or the regulations, if you will, around that industry based on the fact that we were in conflict with the federal government. So now we're kind of trying to start over and get those regulations put in place for the medical industry. And of course, now with the 502 passage, we have recreational marijuana also legal in this state. And therefore, now we have to kind of figure out how we can have two different methods of delivery for both medical and for recreational, and how that's going to look and how we're going to regulate that. 502 already pretty well regulated, but the medical folks are the ones that we really need to kind of get a handle on how their industry is working and how better we can make it work and try to get both of the medical and the recreational industries to work well together. I'm Representative Maureen Walsh, and I always appreciate hearing from you and welcome your ideas, comments, and feedback. If I can ever be of assistance to you in any way, please let me know by calling, writing, or sending me an email. I also encourage you to sign up for my email updates from my website, which is on your screen. Thanks for taking the time to listen today. It is an honor to be your state representative.